Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Firefighters threaten industrial action. Unions representing firefighters have given the Ministry of Finance 10 days to begin talks on the proposed new salary structure. A release issued by the Jamaica Association of Local Government Offices, JALGO, said normalcy could not be guaranteed at the Jamaica Fire Brigade if the ministry failed to respond. It said unions representing uniform workers at the Jamaica Fire Brigade have been seeking since May 2022 to have the discussion start. JALCO added that unsuccessful attempts were also made in October 2022. In light of what seems to be the unwillingness of the ministry to engage in discussions on the matter, the workers are now understandably restive and have mandated the unions to advise that if discussion do not commence within the next 10 days, industrial peace at the brigade cannot be guaranteed, the release said. The government in December started to implement the public sector compensation review to overhaul the structure of salaries and other emoluments in the public service. Police to relax enforcement of child state requirement for taxes. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF says it will refrain from ticketing public passenger operators who do not comply with the requirement for a child restraint system for younger passengers while a review of the law is being carried out. Under the new Road Traffic Act, motorists will incur a $5,000 fine if transporting a child in a vehicle without a restraint system. Uproar from transport operators about the provision has led to the government to announce it will take in another look at the requirement. Assistant Commissioner of Police Kira Mackenzie, the head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch of the JCF, said the police will use their discretion in the meantime. As a result of the ongoing review, the police will use their discretion in relation to the seatbelt and the child restraint system and will allow public passenger vehicles to operate as it were under the old law until the review has been completed, he explained. The matter is to be reviewed at the next meeting of the National Road Safety Council to be held on February 9.
Since the passage of the new Road Traffic Act and regulations, there have been concerns concerning the use of child restraint systems and the car seats, especially by public passenger vehicle operators and drivers. We also note that based on those concerns, the authorities have indicated that they are reviewing the matter. As a result of this ongoing review, the police will use their discretion in relation to the seat belts and the child restraint systems and will allow public passenger vehicles to operate as it were under the old law until that review has been completed.
Man who was named as person of interest killed in suspected reprisal. The police have theorized that Friday's murder of 37-year-old Dwayne Smith in Mount Hyde Mosque, Chapelton, Clarendon was a reprisal killing. They believe it stemmed from the January 23rd murder of 58-year-old farmer Selvin Dunkley of the same community. It has been reported that about 11 a.m. on Friday, Smith and Mason was washing a motor vehicle along the roadway when he was pounced upon by a gunman who fired several shots hitting him in the upper body. Smith fell to the ground and the gunman escaped on foot. The police were summoned and Smith was taken to Chapelton Community Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police say Smith was named as a person of interest in Dunkley's murder. The police say a person of interest has been identified in relation to Friday's murder. Man accused of killing woman's son who intervened in their domestic dispute remanded. A St. Catherine resident who allegedly shot and killed a man who allegedly tried to intervene in a domestic dispute was remanded when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday. 53-year-old Conrad Johnson, otherwise called Chroma and Con, a laborer of Roadside District, Mount Rosa in St. Catherine, was ordered to appear in the Gun Court on February 24. It is alleged that about 4 a.m. on January 18, Johnson was at a home when a dispute developed between himself and his female partner. During the argument, he reportedly threatened to kill her with a gun he had in his possession. Upon hearing the commotion, the woman's son, Clayton Turner, 28-year-old laborer of Roadside District, Kiwaton, St. Catherine, intervened and was allegedly shot by Johnson. Johnson reportedly fled the scene. Turner was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Johnson was held by the police and was subsequently charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and possession of a firearm with intent to commit a felony. Birthday brawl. A senior parish judge at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court could not hide her shock after learning that 3 women were brought before her after they were in a fight over an altercation arising from $1,000, resulting in a person being left with serious injuries to her neck, face, and nose. Christian Wayne, 23, and Brianna Daly, 24, were both charged with assault occasioning actual harm. However, they pleaded not guilty to the charge when they stood before Senior Parish Judge Laurie Ann Cole Montague. But despite their not guilty pleas, Wint and Daly told the judge that they did indeed fight on the day the complainant was injured. The court was told that the complainant wanted to celebrate her birthday with 2 women at bed and breakfast in Kingston. Knowing that Daly was not financially stable, the complainant offered to foot the bill and promised the women $1,000 to return to their homes in Portsmouth, St. Catherine. The complainant, who told the court that she was legally disabled due to an unrelated injury to her spine, said that an argument started shortly after she picked up the woman in halfway through in St. Andrew, who demanded that she carry them back to their homes after her birthday. According to the woman, the argument escalated and a fight ensued, resulting in her being struck in the back. The fight, the complainant said, further escalated after they all exit the vehicle. The complainant said she is now suffering from depression and post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) and would need 36 months of treatment according to her therapist. Defending her action, Wint said, "She threatened me that she was going to hit me in my face to drag me out of the car. You're not doing a good job choosing your friends," the judge said in response that it's a birthday you will never forget. A medical report showing the complainant sought treatment on September 8, 2022, revealed that the woman suffered swelling to her posterior neck, swelling to her nasal bone, and swelling to her frontal bone, which was inflicted by blunt force trauma, but the doctor believed that the injuries are serious. After hearing this, Wint and Daly agreed to pay restitution in the sum of $180,000, $90,000 each. Their first payment is to be made on March 1 in the sum of $30,000. This is careless behavior. A come a court for $1,000 argument. People have their liberty and are just being abusive. This is unbecoming. The face of criminality has changed. I saw the prettiest face them a come a court, the judge said. Cole Montague also added conditions on their bail ordering that Wint and Daly surrender their traveling documents and report to the nearest police station on Tuesday and Thursday. They will also be ordered to have no communication with the complainant. Curfew imposed in West Kingston, several Clarendon communities. A curfew has been imposed in Tivoli Gardens in Kingston Western Police Division. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Friday and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Sunday. The boundaries of the curfew are as follows. North along Spanish Town Road from the intersection at Industrial Terrace to the intersection with Haywood Street and Matthews Lane. East along Matthews Lane from the intersection with Spanish Town Road to the intersection with Water Lane. South along Water Lane from the intersection with Matthews Lane, continue on Marcus Garvey Drive to the intersection with Industrial Terrace. West along Industrial Terrace from the intersection with Marcus Garvey Drive to the intersection with Spanish Town Road. In the meantime, a 48 curfew has also been imposed on multiple communities across Clarendon. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Friday and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. on Sunday. The boundaries of the curfew are as follows. North along Rosewell Road from the intersection of Hazard Drive with Paisley Avenue to the intersection with Kennedy Lane. East along Kennedy Lane from the intersection with Rosewell Road, continuing along the Bustamante Highway to the dirt track at the back of Savannah Cross Community. South along an imaginary line approximately 1,320 meters from the dirt track at the back of Savannah Cross Community to the dirt track at the back of Rosepen, Dampy Community. West along an imaginary line approximately 1,870 meters from the dirt track of the back of Rosepen, Dampy Community to the intersection of Hazard Drive with Paisley Avenue at the northern boundary, and north from the intersection of Hazard Drive and Paisley Avenue running easterly along Rosewell Road, Back Road to the intersection of Kennedy Lane and Roswell Road. East from the intersection of Kennedy Lane and Roswell Road running southerly along the roadway with an imaginary line running further south across the Bustamante Highway to the back of Savannah Cross Community to a dirt track. South an imaginary line running westerly from a dirt track at the back of Savannah across to the dirt track at the back of Rose Dampy Community. West along an imaginary line running northerly from the dirt track and the back of Rose Dampy Community to the intersection of Hazard Drive and Paisley Avenue. Please remember to subscribe, like, share,